Hello, good evening, neighbors, friends, brothers and sisters. Welcome. This is your member provincial parliament, Faisal Hassan, joining you again another Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to hear your concerns and also to hear from me about this week's work and also to hear your comments and take some of your questions. And those who are joining us Instagram, welcome. Those who are joining also a Facebook page, Faisal Hassan, welcome, and also LinkedIn and YouTube, and also Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP. Welcome. Before I begin the program tonight, I wish to acknowledge this time that we are on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations and Inuits and Métis. Welcome, brothers and sisters. Welcome, neighbors, friends. Welcome. This is again your member provincial parliament, Faisal Hassan, joining you again this Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to hear your concerns and also to hear me, to update you the work I've been doing on your behalf. Those who are joining, just join. Welcome. And the good news I want to share with you right on is that Canada's men's soccer team qualified for the World Cup. I'll say to them, congratulations to Canada's men's soccer team on their impressive run in qualifications and for securing Canada's place in the 2020 World Cup in Qatar this November until December. And it is the first time that men's team has qualified for the FIFA World Cup since 1986. And that is a long time, folks. It took a lot of hard work and a lot of determination, and they're going to do well in this World Cup. As a fan of a beautiful game, I'm very much looking forward to cheering Captain Atiba Hutchinson and a healthy Alfonso Davies as they make us proud on the world stage. And today, folks, they have, I think, the FIFA World Cup for the Men's World Cup. They have actually released the draws, how teams are going to play. And Canada is Group F. Group F, we are playing against Belgium, which is located in Europe, Western Europe, and also Morocco, which is also located in North Africa, and Croatia, which is Eastern Europe. And that is really the first stage we're going to play these three teams. I guess it will be Belgium and Canada first, and then we'll play with Morocco and Croatia, and Canada will do well here. They will represent us well. We'll say again, congratulations for our men's team representing Canada in World Cup 2020 in Qatar. And the captain, Atiba Hutchinson, and also Alfonso Davies, and the entire team, and the coach, we are behind you, and we want you to bring the cup to Canada. And in preparation also, Canada, the United States, and Mexico will be also hosting 2026 World Cup. I love this game because I used to play it, and I love watching it also. That's the only time I watch soccer. It's the World Cup. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to be also very exceptional because Canada is playing, folks. And that will give us also an excitement. And we are being drawn a Group 7. It's also teams like Belgium, Morocco, and Croatia. And Canada, if you think, folks, from Belgium and Morocco and Croatia that Canada is a weak team, we will send you a strong message. You will see us how Canadian men's team will play, and we'll be seeing you in November and December. And we want Canada to win the stages and then move into the knockout stages, the second round, the third round, and also the final. And we'll be behind you. Thank you. That is the good news, folks. Those who are just joined, welcome, folks. You're joining your member provincial parliament, Faisal Hassan. And And those who are watching Instagram, welcome. And also Twitter, welcome. Faisal Hassan NDP. And also my page, Faisal Hassan NDP, my handle, welcome. And YouTube and LinkedIn, those who are joining. If you haven't subscribed our YouTube, please do so as well. Thank you. And a lot of folks are also excited about. Valerie says, good evening, all. Good evening, folks. Good evening, Valerie. And also Brandon says, is also joined. And Valerie says, praying our men are successful in World Cup Soccer Cup. And Brandon says, good evening, MPP Faisal Hassan. Good evening. Yes, a lot of prayers and a lot of good luck. And we are playing with Belgium, Morocco, and Croatia. These are teams we can beat and beat them with a lot of goals. And we're cheering for Canada men's soccer team. I know our women's team have made us proud, and we hope our men's team also will make us proud, to make Canada proud. And sports also, folks, it's what brings us together, at that period. And usually World Cup is played in summertime. And because Qatar, which is located in Middle East, it's very hot during the summertime. So during the winter time, is a better weather there. So that's why the arrangement has been made. So teams coming around the world, then they will be able to play better in November to December. And that's also a winter time for us. So folks, you could then book it, go there, and watch the Canadian team play in Qatar. Well, folks, thank you. It has also been a very busy week this week. I was also at the legislature, standing up for this community, fighting for you on many issues. And I will also, this Saturday, folks, do not forget, is also World Autism Awareness Day. The day is meant to celebrate the resilience of those affected by autism and support causes that promote awareness of it. We must continue to work towards a world where all people with autism can reach their full potential by increasing understanding and acceptance. The theme for 2022 is inclusion in the workplace, challenges and opportunities in a post-pandemic world. So make sure that we support our youngsters, and also make sure that you also send strong message to this government to fund. And I've also this week I had an opportunity to question the government and the Minister of Social Services about autism funding, and the waiting list is growing. It is our record shows 53,000 of them on the waiting list, but the minister says it is 40. But we need to make it zero the list, and to provide support and assistance right away for these young kids. And it's not only from until 18, but above also we need to continue those support after 18 years old and so on. Also, folks, I was relieved to hear the news today that the federal government and the province of Ontario have finally reached an agreement this week on $10 per day childcare in Ontario. That is a good news, because our community have been waiting for this for over 30 years. Remember the Liberal Red Book in John Crutchet and Martin campaign, and after that continuously, provincially and federally, they have been campaigning on that. But now finally it's coming to the good news of signing it. It took 9 months, the Premier, the Ford Conservatives, to come to their consensus and do the right thing. I've heard from so many families about the cost of childcare and the urgent need for a deal. Parents need support on a number of fronts, but at least now we find ourselves on a path to quality, affordable childcare in Ontario. This announcement will provide relief for so many families and will have a positive impact on our community, because many members of our community are paying so much money on childcare. And parents that were forced to stay home to care for the little ones rather than deal with excessive childcare costs can now re-enter the workforce. Tight family budgets will find considerable relief as mortgage-sized monthly payments reduce drastically. Most importantly, our precious little ones will all benefit from the caring and nurturing guidance of our province's early childhood educators who are doing a fantastic job but are not paid well. And this opportunity will create attraction, and more early childhood educators will enter the workforce to support our kids and our young ones. This is an incredibly important investment that will have a positive impact. My only disappointment is with the Premier's choice to delay until wait until the 11th hour to sign a deal that everyone acknowledged was urgently necessary. While other provinces and territories reached agreements, Ontario parents spent 9 months paying high child care fees and waiting for action. Some estimates have shown that the average family could have saved about 2,300 over the time it took to reach an agreement with the federal government. As the cost of everyday essentials continue to climb, this money could have been used to offset other items in average household budgets. The long wait did not result in substantial concessions from the federal government other than protections for private operators. It only added more stress and anxiety to already overburdened households. Now that an agreement has been reached, our focus can shift to implementation. The government must move rapidly to establish a program and follow through on a program that parents can rely on. This government has never been shy about making cuts to vital services such as healthcare and education, and they may choose a similar approach down the road. Our commitment is to work with the federal government to get childcare down to $10 per day as soon as possible. Expand the number of high quality public and non-profit childcare spaces, and make sure childcare jobs actually pay decent wages to attract the workforce the $10 childcare will demand. As the next election campaign unfolds, Ontarians will be quick to question whether they can trust this government to implement a childcare program that they have been opposed to since the very beginning. And that's a very important question that will be asked as the election gets closer and closer. Well, folks, those who just joined your Member Provincial Parliament, Faisal Hassan. Friends, neighbors, brothers and sisters, welcome. You're joining me on Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP, Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, and also Facebook page, Faisal Hassan NDP, and LinkedIn, and also YouTube. If you haven't subscribed my YouTube, please do so that we could also stay continuously there. Quickly here, Valerie says, my twin grandsons are both autistic. I'm always thankful for your overwhelming efforts for Canada's children. Thank you, Valerie. We have to support our kids, and we have seen this government and the previous government's cuts to autism, to children and also their families to get the support they need. And definitely an NDP government will be a partner working with parents and children with autism. And quickly also, Susan Word, welcome. Good to hear from you, and long time no see. And here you are. Says, I was conversing with Kiara the other day ago, and householder mentioned how helpful you were, writing a letter to the city of her behalf about garbage pickup. She had nothing but shining things to say about you. She was graceful for your actions. I thought I would pass along the compliment. It's always good to hear good feedback. Hope all is well with you. Well, Susan Word, thank you. And we're looking forward to conversing with us as soon as we, begin the election efforts. Actually, it's warming up. It's happening. And the municipal election happens way down October. Now we are on a provincial election, and we are going on. So I hope you join us and help us as well, and join us, knocking doors with us, and also doing whatever you can to make sure our efforts to form an NDP government, and also send a strong message to the Liberals and the Conservatives in this election coming. Brandon says also Belgium will put Canada out, as we've seen with the Euro Cup in 2021. Belgium versus Portugal in Euro Cup. Belgium put Portugal out in the first round of the round of 16. Well, Brandon, you're talking about European soccer. We are North American and we are Canadian. Our team, the Belgians haven't seen. The Croatians hasn't seen them yet. So do the Moroccans. So our team is a strong team. They are a good team, and I think it's not going to be easy to just overrun the Canadians. And that's not going to be an easy match, my friend. It will be our first match against Belgium, and we will see. We'll send a strong message to Belgium and to Croatia and to Morocco. They will see the Canadian soccer. It's like, the first time when the Americans went to the World Cup, I think sometime 2020, or 1 was 20 or 2, I think, or earlier than that, 1994 was it? And people underestimated them. And what happened? They even went all the way to the round of the semifinals and so on. So we'll do something similar to that. We are coming, Belgium, Croatia, and Morocco. Canada is not going to be easy, Brandon. So watch out there. I'm cheering for our team, Brandon. I hope you will be also cheering for Canada's team. Canada's men's team, rather, this is a World Cup. This is a men's World Cup. So let's correct that. And our Canada's men's team will do well and will make us proud. And they will do a lot of surprise wins, Brandon. So I'm looking forward to those matches, and hopefully we'll watch together, cheering for Canada, not for Belgium, not for Croatia, and not for Morocco. And any team that we come after as we prepare to actually win the second round and the third round, entered into the semifinals and the finals. So our team is, for the first time, have qualified on the top of their team. Belgium is not, Croatia is not, and Morocco is not. So we're doing well in that regard. So we'll see what happens there in Qatar. And Frank says, Brandon, please cheer for Canada. I'll be cheering for Canada. We are all cheering for Canada, Brandon. So you have to know, Canada is coming. And we have this took us for 30 years, since 1986, to join the World Cup, men's World Cup, and we are going to do it. And it will be an excitement, and it will also unite Canada coast to coast to coast, and also make new name, which is going to become a household names for Canada, as these men make us proud, And I'm so excited about that. And we need this provincial government and all provincial governments and federal governments invest in soccer, in sports, so that we could do a lot of positive things for our young people right here in Western, York Southwestern, and Mount Dennis, and Kilsdale, and Maple Leaf, Rustic. All these young teams in our community should be also inspired for this World Cup, as also the World Cup comes to Canada, Mexico, and the United States on 2026. And that will be also an excitement, which also make our team straight to go to the second World Cup, as they also do great things this coming World Cup. So it'll be fun. We are Group F, facing against Belgium and Croatia. Even Croatia is a good team. Morocco is a good team. So does Canada. Canada is also a great team. So we'll see. The best teams will win, and we are supporting our team. All right. Valerie says, Brandon Machado, I'm having faith in our men. Indeed. We all have faith in our men's team, rather. And thanks, folks. Those who are joining you, a member Provincial Parliament, Faisal Hassan. I join you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And also you're joining me, Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP, and also Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, and also a Facebook page, Faisal Hassan NDP, and also LinkedIn, and also YouTube. If you haven't subscribed my YouTube, please do so. So you also see all the debates and also instant notifications for the upcoming debates and so forth. Also, you could, if you missed it at the legislature, then you'll be able to also watch it there. All right. Well, thank you, folks. So, just give me a minute. Folks, next Friday I will be attending a conference, and that conference, therefore, I won't be able to join you on next Friday evening, but I will be looking forward to the following Friday to join together to continue to update you what's happening on Queen's Park and also in our community, and also take some of your concerns and also answer some of your questions and comments. But also remember, you can always reach us at the constituency office, which is located in the heart of in the community in the main street here in Weston, 1965 Weston Road. You can reach me at 416-243-7984, or you can also write to me fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca. And this week also, folks, I returned to the legislature. As I said earlier, I had the opportunity to ask questions the government about the many questions, autism and housing as well. This week I asked questions about 33 King Street in our community, as the recent report of the Toronto Star article outlined. Residents have been dealing with above guideline rent increases, other pressures felt far too often by tenants in our community. Our party is calling for real rent control measures that will support tenants and disincentivize landlords looking to push out legacy tenants. And if you've missed those questions, you can watch on my Facebook, Faisal Hassan NDP. You can also watch it on YouTube, and also you can watch it also, YouTube as well, and also in LinkedIn as well, and Facebook also, Faisal Hassan NDP. You can check it there. Okay, and also the government recently also tabled a bill to deal with housing crisis in Ontario. I debated last night in that debate, because last night we have a night sitting, and you can also watch it on the Ontario legislature. It will be also on our YouTube soon. I'll be sharing that debate, and you'll be able to watch it as well. The government recently tabled a bill to deal with the housing crisis in Ontario. To label it as a disappointment would be understatement. It ignores the need to build smarter, starter homes or missing middle homes like duplex and town homes. It fails to take on the speculation that is driving up costs. It doesn't even do bare minimum its own task force recommended. While I am pleased that the government took our suggestion to increase the friend home buyer tax to 20% and expand it provincial wide, this bill falls far short of what is necessary. And if you haven't seen or watched my debate last night, you can actually watch it at the I think, I don't know if you guys seeing, let me know if you guys could hear me quickly before I proceed. Just let me know, folks. And those who are joining also Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP, welcome. And those who are joining Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, welcome. And LinkedIn and YouTube, welcome as well. And Twitter, Faisal Hassan, also welcome. And I think people cannot hear me. Let me just see if you guys can see. I think there is a. Can you now see me? Can you hear me? I think you had some sort of a disruption. Just to give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly. And if you do, and quickly here, I see that Frank says that. Just give me a minute quickly. Brandon says that. Quickly, no, I think I'll just go back quickly. A lot of comments happening here. Valerie said, quickly here, let me go back quickly. Yes, Frank says, speaking about sports investments, the Ontario government has announced some time ago that they will be investing in e-sports, competitive video games. I never thought it will come to that. And quickly, I'll take all the comments quickly. And the other comments quickly here is also Valerie says housing is a huge issue nationally. Children from lower income families are often living in rental properties that are not properly maintained. Those are the comments joining us on Facebook page. And quickly, I think the government should be making young people active, on active engage, like soccer, like football, like hockey, like rugby, like active sports is always good on all tennis, all those sports. It's very good to invest. And I think you're right. Housing is a huge issue nationally. Children from lower income families are often living in rental properties that are not properly maintained. Indeed. And this is a crisis of which also the pandemic have exposed the inequities, the disparities that exist. And that's why we need to make sure that we call it housing is a human right. And that's exactly the bill I co-sponsored, my fantastic colleague from Brampton Centre. And that's why we needed to pass that bill. Unfortunately, the government voted down. And it is unfortunate that this government doesn't understand the need for investment in housing. And it is not only them, the previous government that had 15 years running this province hasn't done so either. And we also know how the housing crisis has begun. If you're not aware of this, this has begun 1994, when the federal Liberals under John Crotchet and Martin said that they have nothing to do with housing, and they have downloaded into provincial jurisdictions. And that also, at that time, Mike Harris was the premier, and Mike Harris also downloaded into municipalities. And municipalities such as Toronto has now a responsibility for housing issues. And then 2003, when Dalton McGuinty and Kathleen Wynne and Stephen Del Duca came to power, what do? They continued downloading housing into the responsibilities of municipalities. And we know municipalities like ours in City of Toronto and His Worship John Tory and his city councillors are doing their best to run housing with little resources. They've spent last year alone $800 million in housing. What did Ford Conservatives spend? They only spent $6 million in housing. And that's a shame. We need to help with affordable housing. We need to help municipalities and take our responsibility as an Ontarian government. An NDP government will take that responsibility and make sure we are a partner and working with municipalities to work with them on housing and other matters they're dealing with. And that's what's required. It's require a leadership, folks. And now we see this housing crisis. We need options also. I've been talking about the last 2 years about our housing plan. The Ontario NDP housing plan that my leader, Andy Horvath, revealed to 2020. And it's accessible, that plan. You can actually check it out, our Ontario NDP website, and it gives so much options. It talks about empowering people who make less than $200,000 to become owners and have access to equity loans for the down payment. That's very difficult for working people to actually save that money at once. But now, by getting that down payment loans and equity down payment loans for first home buyers, it will give them a home, a place to call home for them to own it and then pay their mortgage. That way, it also gives people options. And that's a good thing. Our plan does that. The Conservative housing plan does not. And also their housing task force, which they themselves put together, provided over 53 recommendations. And all those recommendations has not adopted. They have just ignored them. And why would you then, in the first place, put together, a task force and not take their recommendations or implement their recommendations. That is a red tape, basically. Cut that kind of a red tape, but not cut a healthcare and education and other services that are vital to the people of Ontario. And we need a housing plan because we're in crisis. Also, we're calling for building more co-ops, supporting people in different ways, seniors, and providing also different ways of solving the housing crisis by also going after the flippers and speculators. These are people who are making housing crisis more harder for families and individuals to also get in that market. I was contacted recently by a member of the community who was experiencing challenges with the autism program. Unfortunately, the issues faced by this concerned parent are not rare or unique here in Ontario. Many parents in York Southwestern have reached out to my office because of the delays and inaction of the Ontario Autism Program. The system is in disarray and is staffed for resources. Years of inaction and failed promises from the Liberal Party, a Liberal government of the last 15 years allowed waitlists to bloom, and broken promises from the current government and allowed the waitlist to double in just 4 years. As a result, parents are taking on 2 or 3 jobs or going into debt to pay for treatment privately. For families without financial resources to afford private care, their children are without the care their families want and deserve. Too many families are being let down, and things need to change, folks. This government has overseen a program that now maintains a waiting list of over 50,000 applicants looking for funding they need. This does not happen overnight. It is just a result. It is the result of years of neglect, and parents have had enough. I sympathize with their concerns, especially when we know this government has shown a willingness to withhold spending on the things that matter most. Both the Auditor General and the Financial Accountability Office have raised concerns about unspent funding resources and poorly managed public finances in the past. Resources are available to begin the work of fixing the issues with the Ontario Autism Program. What has been missing is the political will, and as a result, parents are asked to wait and wait with some more. This isn't okay. It isn't all right. And parents are right to feel frustrated by the lack of action on this issue. And when I asked question about the minister said, the waiting list is not 50,000, the waiting list is 40,000. But that 40,000 too, it's a lot. It's a lot. And we need a plan to support our young kids right away and give them hope and opportunity. No solution will solve the issues with Ontario Autism Program overnight, but the government's willingness to cut costs at children's expense is making matters worse. And coming forward with the last minute funding that is a day late and a dollar short won't improve the situation either. Parents need to see substantial investments in needs-based care that will give their children the best opportunities to succeed. No cuts, no cutting corners, and no shortchanging. They want to know that the government is working hard to shrink the wait list, not grow it. The children with autism spectrum disorder and their parents need to be respected, and that hasn't been the case. I challenged the government during the question period on this issue and will continue to advocate for families in York Southwestern who are rightfully demanding better from their government. And they deserve better, and you can count on me fighting on your behalf and also on behalf of the entire members of our community right here in York Southwestern. And those who just join us, welcome. And and also Valerie have said in 2018, 2018, the federal liberals said they would overhaul autism programs. It never happened. Too many children are being diagnosed with autism, and many children are going undiagnosed with later in life. Exactly. Well, we all know about liberal promises. They keep promising, they keep saying we are the nurturing governing party. We are the only government has to govern you, regardless of our record and how we represent you. And we know that too well. And I'm not going to shy away holding them accountable. And we have to hold them accountable about the promises they've made in 2003 after Mike Harrison came to power, also the education cuts, the firing of nurses, the selling of hydro, the list continues their broken promises. And we're going to hold them accountable. And we need and we deserve a government that is better. We have seen from bad to worse, and we deserve better. And Michelle, welcome, also joined, and Rodin, welcome as well. These are folks joining us from Instagram, and also joining us also of Faisal Hassan NDP Facebook page, and that's also a welcome, folks. Those who just join, you are joining your member provincial parliament, Faisal Hassan. I join you every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and to hear your concerns, and also to take some of your questions as well. And today is also April 1st, and we are getting closer to a general election. And the general election will be June 2nd, and we are getting ready for the election. And hopefully you will get involved, and you have seen the work we have done for the last 3 years and 10 months, giving our community a strong voice and also a strong leadership, and making sure that this community does not become continuously an afterthought. And that has been the case in our community. It was case in point when the pandemic hit. We have been termed as high risk and high risk and hotspots, and we have been fighting to make sure that we get testing, we get resources, and it took us 7 months, this government, to respond to a testing center at Church Street, 200 Church. And that was 7 months. Finally, we have been successful getting it there. Humber River Hospital, Women's Health College, and also Humber River Community Health, and also Unison Community Health getting involved, and also moving and also bringing to vaccinations to our seniors who are most affected about this COVID-19 issues. And we have been very successful bringing to them, partnering with the community and with the hospitals, their first doses, the second doses, and making sure that they are looked after. And we have been advocating strongly to bring also so many pop-ups in our community. The first pop-up happened at the Charles Webster School, and continued thereafter many schools. St. John the Evangelist, and also George Harvey, and continued many schools in our community, and other communities were coming to our community to get the vaccines. And that was good. And we have been also, because of the community, get together, advocating, and also making sure that that they are heard, and that also they have helped one another. And we've also lost many members of our community, many folks that I know. We've lost in this pandemic. It was hit hard, folks, and it was difficult for many seniors, and many of you came together to support them, to deliver food, to look after them, to make sure they have taken care of and supported. And that was also something you guys have done. And I'm proud of you and many organizations in our community that have actually done a fantastic job. And to supporting our seniors and members of our community, the most vulnerable, especially the ways have done so much work delivering food and also helping them with Food Bank and also the North York Food Harvest, and also Food Share, and many organizations that are situated and located right here in our community. In our community have supported the members of our community. And I thank them as your representative for the fantastic work you have done during the pandemic and helping our seniors and helping those most vulnerable. Many people are depending on food bank. It's a shame. A province such as rich and the richest province in Ontario, in Canada, you know, that people are still relying on food bank. We should do better. We can do better by making sure that we support them directly. Valerie says children are 30% of our population and 100% of our future. Canada needs more leaders that are compassionate towards children's issues like yourself. Thank you very much, Valerie. And you're right. Children are 100% our future. And they are leaders already, and they are continuing and doing a fantastic job. They are studying hard. They are getting involved in social justice. They are leaders in social justice. We've seen them marching. We've seen them also marching for climate change. They're doing their part to lead. They are leaders of today as well, Valerie, representing their schools, representing their communities. That is why I've been working with them. And as you know, I'm the official opposition's youth opportunities critic. We need to give young people opportunities for now and opportunities for the future, so that young people could dream, could focus of studying, not to worry about tuitions, not to worry about food, not to worry about jobs. The government have responsibility to pass bills like guaranteeing jobs for young people as they go into colleges and universities by providing them work integrated learning. As you know, Valerie, I have sponsored a motion in February 28, 2019, a motion which calls for providing young people paid internships, co-ops, and placements. And this means that colleges and universities, young people who are there, many of them, when they graduate, guess what, Valerie? They ask them experience. When you apply a job, they will ask you experience. Because now you're in university and your colleges, the first job they apply, they will ask them experience. How are they going to gain the experience if we do not provide them those experiences when they are in colleges and universities? And when when my leader, Andy Horvath, appointed me as the youth engagement early on, August 2018, and then later youth opportunities critic, I have had a vast consultation and listening to young people across the province. One of the things they've told me, they want experience to gain while they are in colleges and universities. So this is why I put that motion on behalf of the NDP to make sure that we provide paid internships, co-ops, placements for young people who are in colleges and universities. Also, there are many young people who also graduated. What about them? My motion included them, recent graduates as well, because recent graduates also need that paid internships, so that we should be able to provide them and for them to get to know those managers, middle managers, leaders of these fields of studies, so that they understand, they get to know them, so they also get to learn practically while they work for paid internship positions with these places. And also there are many young people who are not in school and wandering on the streets. And I said those young people also should also be included in this. And how we're going to include is to suggest them, because they are not in schools, maybe they need a little bit of upgrading, getting a little bit of physics and math, because they need that for skilled trades. And skilled trades are well-paid positions, carpenters, electricians, they pay well. And by also providing them that upgrading quickly, getting grade 7, grade 6, grade 8, physics and math, and then getting ready for actually transitioning them into skilled trades right away. So there is no way our young people who are, Valerie, you said, 100% of our future, just wandering on the streets, we should bring them, give them those programs and help them access to these skilled trades and put them to work. We can do it. And my motion actually just uh, just delivers that. And also, the government supported my motion, but to this day, they haven't put resources. They haven't put resources to support it. And that's a shame. Young people now don't have paid internships, co-ops, and placements. There are some professionals, such as nurses, doctors, engineers, that might have those internships, giving them experiences. But what about other students who are in colleges and universities? They need that experience, and we should be providing them. And that's why it's essential to invest young people who are 100%, and Valerie is correct. They are 100% our future, but giving them those opportunities right on. And also, Valerie, we also found out recently that kids who are in detention and prisons and jails don't have education. And they are being warehoused them, and they are living in terrible conditions. And also, we need to take them and also provide them education, provide them upgrading while they're there. So, I understand the idea of our justice system where we punish criminals. And there are many kids also who are not being convicted of a crime, but accused of a crime. There's a difference. And many of them are waiting those detention centers. They are waiting day in court, but they have not been convicted of anything. And for them to sit there, not to study, not to continue to be educated, is not right. So we need also a plan to be compassionate and caring, to make sure that we punish them, but also we rehabilitate them, to provide them those skills, because we need our young people. We need our young people to be put into the right track, to gain the skills they need, to train them, to put them into the right path, and provide them when they leave these prisons into jobs and into a productive life. And that's win-win for society and for them as well. And I think we can do that by showing compassion, by showing caring, and by reforming them while they're there in prisons, by showing them education. And education is the key to empower these young people. We should be doing this and making sure that we help them. And I'll tell you a quick story. When I visited the detention center in Jal in Thunder Bay, I went with my colleague from Solmimakwa and also Brampton North MPP, Kevin Yard, and also Oshawa MPP, Jennifer French, and others. And we have toured there. What we saw was horrible condition. They were being just warehoused. And this was horrible. This was the early 2019. And I was shocked. Many of them have not been convicted of a crime. They were waiting a day in court because they could not get a bail because they are poor. And in our justice system, if you are poor, most of the times there's no justice for you. And we need to do better to make sure there's justice for everybody. And I understand it's a process to bring people into court, but we can do better, and we should do better, giving people hope and opportunities. And Valerie says, Faisal Hassan, NDP, who do I write to support children in detention centers? Yes, you write the Solicitor General. The Solicitor General is the one who's responsible for prisons, and that is the Solicitor General, Corrections, it's also called, but it is a ministry of the Solicitor General. And that is where you write to. And I think it's a shame. The Liberal government has that record of neglecting that as well, and also the Conservatives as well. But I think I brought this issue at the legislature, and she could not even understand, the minister. These conditions exist. These young people in these prisons have no education whatsoever. And she said that the Toronto District School Board is responsible to actually provide them education. But nobody follows up and who checks when they are provided those educations. So that's, I think, something we need to continue providing hope and opportunities for young people, all young people, whether they are on the streets, whether they are in detention centers, or whether they are in schools. And this is the vision, as you are official opposition critic for youth opportunities, and the official opposition's vision and NDP government will be a caring, compassion, responsible, and strong government for you and for your family to deliver results of things that's been neglected. Not only this government, but the previous liberal government. And we need to put our people first. I know that the federal government talks about immigration and refugees, bringing people here. That's good. But we can also make sure our people here are also provided the jobs, the training, and make sure everybody is put into the right track of helping and also getting jobs that is available to people. We can do better. All we need is leadership and also consulting with the industry, making sure, working with them, what kinds of people they need, and we can train them right here in our communities and provide them in those who are in already in our community, and then we can look elsewhere to get those people we need. And I think that requires a strong leadership, and an NDP government will do that, folks. Just give me a minute. Those who are joining just now, you're joining your member provincial parliament, Faisal Hassan, and you join me every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I update you the week's work and also take some of your questions and comments as well every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Next Friday, I won't be able to join you because I am turning to a convention where I would be there to join a community to hear their concerns and the wonderful job that they do. And also, I will be also joining you the following Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to hear your concerns and to update you. You can always write to me, fhassan-co at ndp.on.ca, or you can phone me at 416-243-7984. And quickly, Valerie says, this is very sad. Many of these children are in detention centers because society and government has failed them. Proper intervention can put all children on the right path. Exactly. And that's exactly what we need. Yes, that is the right thing to do. And that's why we need leaders who are also caring and have kindness and compassion, and who are not just cutting throats and just putting their own interests and their friends' interests, but also putting society's interests. And that's why I believe our young people need a voice. They need a voice, and I have been advocating on their behalf as the official opposition's youth opportunities critic to hear and also provide opportunities for young people. We can do it, you know. And an NDP government will be a partner working with you to make sure we deliver results for you and for your families. And Ray, welcome. Ray says, do the crime pay the time? I guess you have never been a victim. Well, I mean, I have been a victim. I have lost to violence 2 members of my family. They have been killed, for your information, by criminals. And I do understand. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I know that my family has been a victim to these crimes. And I know that many families are victim to crimes. And I know that victims also need justice. And we need, that's why we have a justice system. We need to punish those who commit crimes, Ray. And I get it. But also there are many people who are in prisons who are not who are doing little crimes, not violence crimes, and those young people should also deserve hope and opportunities, and even those who have committed violent crimes, if they reform and if they're rehabilitated for after the punishment, I think we should also forgive them, and also give them an opportunity to also reform. But we need to also not bitter. I'm not angry, but we understand that we can also um, punish the criminals, but also be compassionate as well, and also providing rehabilitation. Those who can be rehabilitated, of course, and that's why we think it's important. There are many young people who have been just arrested for little things here and there, like marijuana, for example. Now is what? Marijuana is now illegal, but there are many people who have been committed crimes of marijuana who are imprisoned, and they are imprisoned and they don't have education, and they have been punished. What do we do with them, Ray? These are many things we can do better, and work better and work smarter as well. And I think Ray have a follow up with that, and I think he's just also saying that we are talking about children. Absolutely, we're talking about children. That's Valerie saying. We're talking about children, not adults. And there are many kids that are children, and that's what we're talking about exactly. Kids who are in detention centers. Some of them might have, here and there made some, mistakes in their lives, who can easily be rehabilitated and reformed. We're not talking hard people who have violence crimes and who cannot be reformed. That's why we need also to have a system where we can also make sure there's also a process of rehabilitation in our justice system. And Ray responding to says Valerie, lovely. My message was actually meant to you. Oh, I see. Well, that's good. At the time, possession with a crime, so let them do the time. Absolutely. I understand. When all of us are victims of crime, we understand. We expect justice, that they will do their time, of course. Absolutely. But also we want them also to be rehabilitated. So when they come out, they're not bitter and against society, so that they also have hope and opportunity as they come out there, and we provide them that opportunity for them. And there are many young people who have made a little mistake here and there that will need that kind of help from us. Quickly here, and Valerie responding to Ray, I'm aware of that. Not all children are criminals. Many fall victim of circumstances. Exactly. And that's the case. Folks, there are discussions going. Keep discussions going. That's an exciting. And here also on the Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP, we have Scooter Esperanza, says hello from North York, Ontario. Well, hello, and thank you for joining me this evening from Instagram. You join me every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. You hear me to update you, and we have been doing it since the beginning of the pandemic, March 13. Almost for 2 years, I have been joining you every single day. Early on was Saturday from 3 to 4, and then you've requested to change from Friday from 7 to 8 p.m., and I have been consistent, updating you every Friday. Then was Saturday, but to update you and to hear your concerns. And folks, this election coming is very important election. We need to send a strong message to make sure that we have a government that we deserve. We have tried the Liberals for 15 years, folks. We have tried the Conservatives for the last 4 years, from bad to worse. Now it's time to do better, to have a government headed by Andrea Horwath, my leader, and the leader of the official opposition. And our team are ready, they're strong, and we're ready to govern, folks. Join us and participate. Check out also this Saturday, Sunday, we're also having a big rally. And if you can join, sign up and join. There will be space for you as well. You can actually go on Ontario NDP. You can sign it up there, and easily you can also join the rally. Our leader, Andy Horvath, will be speaking to you and to the people of Ontario. And that's also just an announcement there. Next Saturday, folks, also, not Saturday, next Friday, I won't be able to join you live, but I will be joining you the following Friday. folks who have joined, who've commented, Ray and Valerie, and those who joined, Michelle, and also Brandon and Frank, and also Rodden, and everyone else, folks. Susan, who shared us also really a great story, as she also visited in the community, and the good things that the community is saying about me, and we do appreciate it. I won't be taking your votes for granted. I will work hard to earn your trust and confidence to make sure that I am accountable to you as your representative, And here also a quick comment I'll take, and I'll be signing off quickly. Scooter Esperanza says, "Do you still do the rustic bakery in North York? I would like to help out." Yes, I do come to rustic bakery. It's our bakery, our own. It has been serving the community for years, and I like Sam and the entire team are doing a fantastic job there. Please support them. Please support our small businesses, Rustic Bakery, and all of our stores and community small businesses. Support them. And I was last week there as well, and I'll come sometime this week as well. And hopefully we'll see you there. And please, when you see me, introduce yourself and join us, support us, get involved. We need to send a strong message this election so that we don't want to be thought an afterthought. We need people working for us, not people coming from other communities. We want people who live in our community representing us and sending a strong message to the issues matter to our community, and also uniting our community. We are a diverse community, and we need to work together to make sure that I am listening to all the different opinions in our community and continue to do that. Folks, I have no more time. Until then, folks, I will see you again, not this coming Friday, but the following Friday. Thank you, and I'll be joining you again on Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP, Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, Facebook page, Faisal Hassan NDP, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Until then, folks, be safe, look after one another, take care. Until next following, not this Friday, but the following Friday after the 8th, okay?